Hello everyone, this is Kathleen and we're here with pretty much the final step in our Dollar Tree Junk Journal Challenge, and that is doing all the detailing. So it's stuffing the pockets with ephemera, it's doing some little touches toward the end that just kind of make the journal look finished. So I'm going to share I think about 7 different techniques for using Dollar Tree materials and a couple of my supplies, and we're going to use the final supply that I bought to make the journal from the Dollar Tree, and that's the magazine images. And so currently, right now, well, this is kind of fancy, but currently the journal is quite plain. There's not a lot of images in here, and I intended to use the magazine to bring some more color to the journal. So let me show you the first thing you can do with magazine images is fancy fold them. So there are 2 or 3 pages from this gardening magazine that I wanted to just use and maybe put into the journal as a reference sheet. This is, you can see there's these little maps of planting a couple of container gardens, and I thought that was really nice. You know, it gives the name of the flower or the plant to put in. It gives you a little map how to plant them. And I just thought these were kind of nice. And so rather than just fold them regularly in quarters, then I'm going to fold it so that this comes up and leaves just a little bit of room there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side, fold it short so that there are some layers there. And then all I have to do is just slide that in. And then that becomes a nice piece of ephemera for the journal. And it starts to give us a hint about what the rest of the ephemera is going to look like. So I have the embossing machine here, and I want to show you how to do that. And then we'll put the machine away and make room on the desk for the rest. I often use my very favorite swirl embossing folder. It's from the Paper Studio, which is a Hobby Lobby brand, but I kind of like to do just kind of swirls that kind of come up. So let's do it this way. Okay, so this is not going to emboss, just this top piece, and so I try to get it on here, and I've got to make sure that it's all enclosed, and then I'll put the plate on and we'll send it through. Okay, let's open it up. All right, there's the emboss, but you can't see the image, can you? Nope. Now we have to sand it in order to see it, and it's just like magic, I'm telling you. You just take some fine sandpaper and gently sand the top. And some of you have seen me do this, especially if you've followed me for very long, because it's one of my favorite techniques. But some of you are new in the last little while, and I want to welcome you to my channel, and I'm happy to show you some of my favorite things to do. So now that just kind of puts a little frosted design on that magazine image. While I have it here, I will just do the edges also. Because of course sanding, you know, is going to weaken the paper, so you do need to be just a little bit careful. But this sanding the edges like this kind of, it does the same thing that inking does. It defines the edge. I like that. Yeah, I really do. Of course, on the inside, this is also embossed, but there's still plenty of room to journal, and I really like that. So now we've got a fancy fold, we've got a frosted, embossed, and sanded. Now I just want to show you about the frosted edge. And I did this again just not too long ago, but I just come along and rub the sandpaper against the edge, and it just kind of makes it looks like frosted to me. That's why I call it that. Okay, now this next thing we're going to do is another technique, but I'm going to do it on this card, and that's just a paint smear. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this acrylic paint in a very light color, and all I'm going to do is take my finger and dip it in there, and then I'm just going to smear it. We could do the top, we could do the bottom. Since this is blank up here, let's just do that. I'm just going to take my finger and make a smear. I'm going to put it off the edge like that. Then let me dry this. I'm just going to write the word rest. And let me just show you some of the other ephemera that I have. We'll stuff some. So we have this one here in the front, and then we have this belly band that we did. Let's just put that one in there. For this little short, I have made one of these little scrappy notebook things with the leftovers of that calendar cover, and I've just tied it with this string and just slip that over there like that. This next tuck, I'm just going to use this leftover piece, put that in there, and then this is just one of the papers from that paper pack, and we'll slide that in there. I've just torn the top edge. Okay, so I just want to show you that I've made several other cut, and I've just put it on the back of the sketch paper. And so I will do the sanding and embossing on these. I've made this little card with some of the calendar page, and all I'm going to do to this one, I'm just going to do a couple of piercings that we did. I'll start in the middle, and one more here. So that just puts a little line right there. Easy to do. I've also used an image and made this large tag. I've made this from the paper pack from the Dollar Tree. I think what I'll do is just put a stamp on that. I have chosen from this stamp set this little butterfly right here. So I continue to have some of these images that I have made. I have made just out of some of the paper. I've used a couple of punches and made just this little journal paper. Again, another kind of journal tag. Here's another one. I used some paper from the lined composition. So here's another one of the embossed ones. Another card that I will sand. I have used piece from the paper pack and then just made these two little tag items. Here there's two more of those. And this came from the paper that I removed from the signatures when it started getting too big. And I liked this little swirly thing here, and I just bent that over. These two had a specific place. This one, and it will have, you know, it has room for a tuck there. And that is going inside this envelope. So there's that. And then we need to kind of keep it as far away from the spine as we can so that it doesn't cause it to stand up. And then this is where this one is going. And so I loved the colors that kind of blend there. I didn't ever use the tape. So rather than the tape, I am using a couple of index cards, which are also from the Dollar Tree. And what I want to do is just smush them. I'm just going to use this paint, oops, that we did. It's already pretty liquidy. So all I need to do is just pour out just a little bit onto the glass, and then I'm just going to dip it in and pull it up. And then I'm going to put that over here to dry. I'm going to do one or two more of these cards. Now let me go and dry these. Okay, so I've dried them, and now I'm going to come back and do just a little bit on the back side. Okay, this is how they look. I like it. That one's upside down. Yeah, I think that turns out really well. So now I will go around the edges of this a little later off camera, because you know how to do that. But what I want to do is kind of create there. This will work. So let's create a little darker spot, and then let's put the butterfly stamp on there. There we go. The other thing we can do is take some of the other punches, and this is a directional one, so I'll just put that punch there. Kind of like that. Let's use the stapler, and we'll just staple that on. That'll make kind of a nice tag. One more technique I want to show you is how to take just a crayon and make a rubbing. So I like to use the embossing folder as a texture plate, and I find the raised part, and then I can just take the card, and rather than embossing it, because then you wouldn't be able to write on the back, instead I'm just going to take a crayon, and I'm going to just do a rubbing So we'll use this crayon, and then we'll use some green as well. This happened to be what's called Neo colors. They can be water activated. So I can spray it and then just kind of let that run. And of course, just a regular crayon, like you could get at Dollar Tree, that will just give you the design. And that's kind of fun too, but it's also kind of fun to have these Neo colors and get kind of this that kind of runs. You can't get those at the Dollar Tree. Those are at the art store. Yeah. Okay, let me dry this and I'll show you how it looks. Okay, that's how that looks dried. Okay, let's do something on these two just folded papers. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to use some eyeshadow and just make a kind of a background. This just can add a little bit of depth behind the stamp, and I think that really helps. Okay, that's pretty simple, but you can see how the eyeshadow just kind of gives a little bit of depth and makes that prettier, in my opinion. Okay, I think that's 8 different techniques that I've shown you today. Let me gather everything up so that you can see it together. So we've managed to do quite a bit with some simple magazine pages. We've done a masterboard. We've done fancy folding, we've done the frosted edge, we've done the sanding, the embossing, we've done some smishing, we've done the rubbing with crayons. Mine are Neo colors, remember, but regular crayons give you the same kind of design. We've done a bunch of stamping on several different things, and we've used some punches. Thanks for being with me, and we'll see you again with the final flip through.